Hello speech class. Today my demonstration speech will be on an ancient Japanese method for preserving wood called shou-sugi-ban. So for the materials we'll need just a piece of wood. I just picked a scrap piece of wood to demonstrate on that was laying around in the shed. And I tried to pick one that had some knots in it and a really fine unique wood grain that'll really pop out in the end. And you'll see. Secondly, we'll need a handheld just palm sander. And then we'll need a propane torch, a wire brush, and this is basically an 80 grit sandpaper, just a drill attachment. I find that that works way better. Sorry. And then we'll need some boiled linseed oil. This we'll just rub into the wood grain afterwards with the paper towels, just to give it a nice shine and to make the wood grain pop out a little more. So I already pre-cut this piece using the saw. That was the first step, but to save time, I just figured I might cut it beforehand. So first, we're just going to sand this down to lighten up the colors a little more and to bring out that wood grain a little more. And as you can see, the color's a lot lighter, and you can see that wood grain pop out way more. So next, we're going to take a propane torch, and we're just going to char the surface of this wood. So, make sure you can see it good. That knot right there is going to look really nice in the end. All right. Now that this piece of wood is very charred and that it's also pretty hot, but only on the surface, as you can see. Then we're going to take our wire brush and brush out all of the hard parts that are on the surface to bring out the wood grain just a little more. I like to go against the wood grain. I think it makes a nice, more textured look. Also a little in circles too. All different directions pretty much. Make sure it's a nice even scrub. And now you can see that wood grain come out a lot more. And so next we're going to take our drill with the sanding bit on the end of it. And that's just going to smooth out the marks that the bristles of the wire brush make. It's also going to scrape off a lot of that sawdust from earlier. I probably should have clamped this down, but since it's a smaller piece of wood, I could just hold it. And with this thing, it can really dig into the wood, so you want to make sure it just skims very lightly across the top. So next, we're going to take a little bit of this linseed oil, if I can open it. Dab a little bit of it on a paper towel. And just, I'm going to come up forward for this part, if you can see it better. See how that wood grain really pops out after that. And it's preserved. All the sawdust in there in the grain really makes an airtight seal. It won't weather. It won't rot. And there you have it. Shou-sugi-ban piece of wood. You can see it there. Looks good.